Working now. Okay. Yeah. So Yavanartha Udapane Sarvataha Samplutodake. So in the village you will find there are different wells. It's not that you go to one well and everyone they does their washing pots and washing clothes and taking bath and drinking water all in the same place. They don't do. They have different wells. One well where everyone goes to wash clothes only. Another well everyone goes to fill up their pots, drinking water only. Another well they go to take bath, like that. But if you go to a river, because the water is flowing constantly, there cannot be any contamination. So if you go to a river, all your purposes are fulfilled there. Your washing pots is all can be done, washing clothes can be done, drinking water also you can take from there, you can take bath, everything can be done. So when you take shelter of the Supreme Lord, whatever benedictions you may be getting from other people, from your gurus, from the demigods, everything and much, much more, and much, much more you can get by surrendering to Krishna. So therefore, who deserves, who is more deserving than Krishna uh, to take shelter, right? We should, like, is there anyone else who is more deserving than the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Therefore, I wish to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, says Satyavrat Maharaj. Where are we? Okay. So, purport, Mataji or Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. It is said, Kamaistair
Kamaistaistar Hritagyana Prapadyante.
People in general, being motivated by material desires, worship the demigods to get fruitive results very quickly. People generally do not become devotees of Lord Vishnu, since Lord Vishnu never becomes the order supplier of his devotee. Lord Vishnu does not give a devotee benedictions that will create a further demand for benedictions. By worshipping the demigods, one may get results, but as described in Bhagavad Gita, Antavatu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedhasam. Whatever great benedictions one may achieve from the demigods are all temporary. Because the demigods themselves are temporary, their benedictions are also temporary and have no permanent value. Those who aspire for such benedictions have a poor fund of knowledge. Tad bhavati alpamedhasam. The benedictions of Lord Vishnu are different. By the mercy of Lord Vishnu, one can be completely freed from material contamination and go back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, the benedictions offered by the demigods cannot compare to even 1/10,000th of the Lord's benediction. One should not therefore try to obtain benediction from the demigods or false gurus. One should aspire only for the benediction offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshaisyami masucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. This is the greatest benediction. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So, it is not equal to even 1/10,000th of the benediction given by Krishna. In what way? So, of course, you get everything else that you get from the demigods and all others, but you get much more. What is that more? What else do you get? So, Srila Prabhupada is quoting, Kamais taisair hritagyanaha prapadyantenya devata. Out of lusty desires, one loses his intelligence, one loses his hritagyana, right? His intelligence is stolen because of lusty desires, and then he goes to worship the demigods to get some benefits, temporary benefits. It's not that you don't have to work hard, because these benefits are not so they're not as great. So it doesn't mean you have to work any less harder. On the contrary, you have to work very, very hard to get those benedictions from the demigods. But After all that hard work, whatever you get, antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam. There is an end to all these results. Devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Those who worship the demigods, they go to the demigods. And the demigods' planets and the demigods themselves are temporary. They themselves are temporary. They are not eternal. So therefore, even after you go to the planets of the demigods, after all this hard work, the result of all that is, once again, you come back to this world of repeated birth and death. But if you worship the Supreme Lord, Madbhakta yanti mamapi, they come to me, Krishna says. And Krishna is eternal, his abode is eternal. When you go to Krishna, you're there eternally. It's not temporary. Therefore, the result that you get by worshipping the Supreme Lord is, it cannot even be compared. It cannot even be compared to the insignificant results that you get by worshipping the demigods. Even though you have to put in the same hard work, if not more, much more, you have to put much more actually, because there's always a risk when you're doing karma. Demigod worship comes under karma. When you do karma, it has to be precise, exact, it has to be completed. Any discrepancy, any mistake, you don't get the result, and sometimes you get the opposite result also. But in bhakti, Twalpamapyasya dharmasya, you do a little bit, even a little bit that you do, it will actually give you the result. So that's why here it is said that the benedictions that you get from false gurus, from demigods, from people in general, cannot even equal to 1/10,000th of the benedictions received by worshipping the Supreme Lord. So therefore, the best course of action is Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Simply surrender to the Supreme Lord. Giving up all other dharmas, simply follow what the Lord is asking us to do. Yeah. And then how to surrender, that's also said. It's not like you surrender in whichever way you like. Surrendering also, there is a process. So you have to follow that. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpataya Eva Kalpate. I will surrender like this. I will no. Surrender means, when you surrender, it means now you accept the Lord's path. The way He is asking us to do, we have to live our lives like that. 824, I'm sorry, text 50. Achakshurandhasya yathagrani kritas tatha janasya vidusho budho guru tvamarkadrik sarvadrisham drisham samikshano vrito gurur nah swagatim bubhutsatam. Translation. So Arunita read, Achinta Dev Prabhu also read, right?
No,
Everyone read? You didn't read, yeah.
as a blind man, being unable to see, accepts another blind man as his leader. People who do not know the goal of life accept someone as a guru who is a rascal and a fool. But we are interested in self realization. Therefore, we accept you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as our spiritual master, for you are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like the sun. Thank you much.
Thank you. So, as a blind man, being unable to see, accepts another blind man as his leader, isn't it? You are blind, you don't see anything, and you hear somebody, and that person can tell you that I am great and I am this, and I'll take you to this place. And because you're not able to see that he himself is blind, you accept this person. Oh, he's my leader now, he's my guru, he can take me. Why you are not able to find out that he's blind? Because you yourself are blind. Because you yourself are blind and you're not able to see that he is blind. That is why we say Shastra Pramana. That is why we say Shastra Pramana. Shastra tells you who is blind and who is not. So a blind man, being unable to see, accepts another blind man as his leader. People who do not know the goal of life accept someone as a guru who is a rascal and a fool. I'll give you one example. for us to accept someone as God if he cures somebody's disease in my house. Oh, now I accept this person as God. Or if not as God, I accept him as Guru. Whatever he will tell me to do, I will do. He will say, change your religion, convert to some other religion. Now you follow our process. Okay. Why? Because you have treated somebody in my house who was sick. Is that the criterion to understand who is God and what is the goal of life? That's the point. So these are false gurus. Or somebody says, oh, after following this particular worshipping, sometimes they worship different personalities, and they say, because of worshipping this personality, my son got a good job. Okay, I will also worship. So these are all false gurus leading us to worship someone who is not the Supreme Lord. People who do not know the goal of life, why they are accepting somebody else? Because they themselves don't know what is the goal of life, and they accept anyone as their guru. So what do you tell? What can you know about these people? They are foolish. They're foolish. They're ignorant. They don't know what is the goal of life, and of course, unfortunate, right? They just accept anyone. People who do not know the goal of life accept someone as a guru who is a rascal and a fool, and they get cheated. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, those who are cheated, the the cheaters. No, what does Srila Prabhupada say about the cheaters and the cheated? Those who want to be cheated, correct. Those who want to be cheated, they get cheated by the cheaters. That means, in other words, you want something very cheaply. You don't want to pay the price. Yes? You want something valuable. You want like a, a pearl necklace for 50 rupees. So, cheaters will come and they will say, here, I'm giving you. This is excellent pearls. I'm giving you for 50 rupees. And you say, wow, I'm getting something valuable, cheap. Let me just. So, you want to get cheated. So, the cheater comes to cheat you. But if you want to get the real thing, first of all, you should understand what is a pearl. You should understand, and then you should choose where to buy from. You should see, does this person actually have the real pearl? And then you buy from that person, isn't it? So, accepting Guru is not based on sentiment. Guru's purpose is what? Guru's purpose is to help us reach the goal of life. To solve all problems of life and not just material problems. Our real problem is birth, death, old age, and disease. One who can give us a solution to all these four problems. Then you can accept that person as a guru. Not just that by accepting this guru, now my cow will give more milk, right? Or my family members will become free from disease. That cannot be. That is foolishness. That is foolishness. That means out of ignorance, being blind, you're accepting another blind person as a guru. So Satyavrat Maharaj is saying, foolish people accept a guru who is a rascal and a fool. But we are interested in self-realization. We know what is the real thing. We are not interested in petty material results. We are interested in self-realization. Therefore, we don't go for any false gurus. We accept you. And when you accept the Supreme Lord, it means his bona fide representatives also. Because they will not say anything which is different from what the Lord is saying. Therefore, we accept you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as our spiritual master. For you are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like the sun. He is Paramatma in the heart. He can see everyone inside out, everything, past, present, and future. He is present everywhere. Therefore, He is our spiritual master. This is Satyavrat Maharaj's prayer. Purport. So, Inba Inya Jai Ganesh Prabhu, Jai Shri Mataji. Not there?
Sorry, Mataji, I was in mute and reading.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Mataji.
Yeah, 1 second. Narsimhalila Chaitanya Prabhu is raising his hand. Suvarnangi Mataji, are you raising your hand?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like how you were mentioning about people believe in different beliefs because they come across because they don't know what is the truth. So I just want to understand, Mataji, because we had a friends. This has happened like in front of us. They are like Hindus. They got married in Tirupati Tirumala, right, Mataji? So they are like, their names are also like demigod's name, like Ramakrishna and Saraswati. It's like real name. So the parents were really into God consciousness. But when I met them after their marriage in US, they were converted into Christians. So I was like kind of surprised, and I asked them, what is the reason you took up this to that Mataji? Yeah. So then Mataji, you just mentioned one thing. I don't know. In Hinduism, we have a lot of gods. I don't know whom to believe, and it's so confusing altogether. We don't know whom to approach to get the right message. But if you see, this is only one Bible, and Son of God is Jesus. So there's only one belief. So there are words which were spoken by him. So I was like, okay, but we also have Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken directly by Krishna. But she told there are other books also, right? So it was I was not in Krishna consciousness right there that time to kind of give her scriptural references, but I felt like, is it only the person's mistake or it's even our system's mistake, Mataji? Because here, if you see, we are not in India. It's not like in school we should have Bhagavad Gita. We should only take up Bhagavad Gita. There's no rule like that, right, Mataji? So we are so confused. Even I used to worship a lot of different demigods, and Sai Baba especially. It is so. So I'm trying to understand: is it only that person's misdeeds or past deeds, or because they are blind? I'm that's just my question. Sorry, Mataji, if I was like out of the way.
No, you are not out of the way. Actually, I can actually send one. We got in a group about how rapidly Hindus are getting converted to other religions, especially Christianity. This is just most recent news is that in some part of North India, in 1 week, I forget the exact number, but something like, I don't know how many, 120,000 or some people in 1 week they got converted to Christianity. So the points, yes, Priyanka Mataji, you wanted to say something? No, okay. So why it is happening is some people are actually working. They have their missionaries actually going, and this is their, they have taken it up as their, just the points that you have said. This is what they tell us to convert them. They say that I was also, preached to like this when I was a child. Of course, I had already taken to Krishna consciousness, so I was not, moved. In fact, I felt disturbed why they are talking like this. But it was not convincing at all to me. But I did feel disturbed. So their approach is clear to me. So, they say, they try to put down what you have, like they find so many faults and confuse you. Oh, I don't have anything. So this is not Why they are able to even do that? That's the first point. How they are able to bewilder you and confuse you about what you have, because you don't have proper foundation yourself. So in that sense, you can say, yes, it is our fault. It is our fault in not educating. See, that's why this course, Shastra Pramana, is very, very important. This is important for everyone, for devotees and for non-devotees. That means who have not come to Krishna consciousness. This is a scientific approach. They're saying, okay, so anyway, so what was your question? Why is it just that person's fault that he got converted? In one sense, it's not just that person's fault, but that person's fault is also there. It is like Srila Prabhupada says, when you drive on the road, it is expected of you to know the traffic rules. You cannot say that I'm coming from another country, so in my country we drive on the left side, so I was driving on the left side here also. I didn't know the rules of this country. Ignorance is no excuse. That's the point. Ignorance is no excuse. Why somebody was able to exploit you? Because you were ignorant. Because you were ignorant, therefore somebody was able to exploit you, just like small children. Then you can say, oh, then it is actually, if small children are exploited, whose fault is this? They should have been given proper protection by the parents, by the adults. So then the responsibility comes to the leaders. Therefore, the Brahmanas who are supposed to be, this is Kali Yuga, everything is spoiled, right? The Varnashram system, that is why when the British, simply taking over properties was not sufficient. When they destroyed the culture, when they destroyed the faith of the people in their own scriptures, that's when they actually conquered. That's when Kali was successful. We started looking down upon our Vedas, our scriptures, our practices, thinking that this is primitive. This was done intentionally. So that's the result. So then how to revive? So are we simply going to sit and brood over what has happened in the past and just accept things as they are? No. The way they are preaching and converting, and even if they are converting, to whose benefit? To whose benefit? They're taking away someone from worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engaging them in. So when you take to Christianity, then you can also eat beef and everything else. That means you're engaging in sinful activities also. And do you get a deeper understanding of the goal of life by following Christianity? It's by sentiment. They're taking to it by sentiment. So now what is our responsibility? We should also make people aware. So we approach from the scientific point of view that we are not going as a group belonging to one particular sect. We approach people as spirit souls, and all spirit souls are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. I think I told you some days ago, one Christian evangelist, I was in front of Walmart. So they don't listen to you. They just keep beating. Try again, same typical approach. They try to put down, right? Like what you have, it is just myth, it's mythology, and it doesn't make sense, like that. And those who are not strong themselves, they become victims because they don't have answers. They don't have answers, and they don't have strong faith in what they're doing. They're just, so that is what our education system is doing. to
Why
all
they
of us.
don't think they have to go back and look to our scriptures and then become strong? Why they're not getting that attitude, Mataji? Like when why are they getting so attracted? Uh,
Kamaistaistai hritagyan.
okay.
That's the only thing, because they're offering some lucrative gifts. Really, that's what they're doing.
Yes.
If you look at the people who convert to other religions, they do it by, they go to villages. If you see, they go to villages, like those who are not educated people. They'll go to villages and they give them so many gifts. They'll give shoes and they'll give clothes and toys and all these things. And they'll, oh, it's like, during communist rule, right? They say you go to church and ask God for bread, right? In
Yes.
Christianity,
Yes.
they say, oh God, give us our daily bread. Oh, did you get any bread? No, they just went and prayed and they came out. They didn't get any bread immediately. Now you come to me and you ask me, oh, communist God, right? Give me bread.
Yes.
And immediately, here, take bread. Oh, this is God because He's actually giving me bread. Let me follow this. And people convert to communism like that. So they come and they give so many gifts materially. And then they even put up some mock shows, like somebody is,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. They
And then
do a
all of
lot.
a sudden they've treated somebody and they're like, right? And so many people are watching. See, this is the power of Jesus. And so many thousands of people that just come and they surrender because Kama is Taisarita again. The same thing, it's exactly what we discussed in this verse. That those who are ignorant, they don't know what is the difference between gold and what is iron. And you just show iron, they think, oh, and you make a propaganda, this is gold, they just go for it. So then what is our responsibility? You should educate people. This is what is needed now. Educate, educate, educate. First, educate yourself about what is reality, and then you educate people. Those who have some intelligence, they will accept it. People who convert are sentimental people who are converting. They are not converting because of getting, or because of education, they are not getting converted. You will get, Srila Prabhupada also said, Krishna consciousness is not for the masses, it is for the classes, right? So those who are educated people, they won't go for sentiments. So you have to educate them about you are a spirit soul, so systematically, step by step. But for us to confidently present it, first we have to educate ourselves. We have to be convinced about it ourselves, study Bhagavad Gita properly, and also what is the importance of Shastra. Even before studying Bhagavad Gita, you should know why we should believe Shastra, because that's the whole thing. Oh, we have so many Shastras, we don't know who to believe, we have so many gods. We have to start from there. Even when you approach new people, you have to start from there. So yeah, I'm working on this course called Shastra Pramana. Just, lately I've been quite busy with other things, so I'm not able to put in so much time, but hopefully it will be completed soon and I will share it. Thank you, Sonia Mataji. I will share it with all of you also. And this is very important. Yeah. Otherwise,
Thank you so much.
every day, so many people are getting converted. So many people are getting converted. Thank you for that question, Savarnani
Thank
Mataji.
you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so Aditi Lata Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, I just wanted to add in this. I mean, add in the sense, just say that the reason, as you pointed out, I was going to say that point, that the reason why they could convert everyone was because if we see in the emotional side also,
Yeah,
like we are also having family and I can't feed my kids. I'm so poor, desperate, like people are starving and dying in front of me, and someone comes and gives a helping hand. Obviously, I will have a soft corner for them, because then that's what, because they used to build these missionaries, they used to build these people. There are ample of people, they used to line up and have free food and get old clothes or new clothes or whatever. So that is a survival thing. They had to do it at that time, because there was no Krishna consciousness at that time, not specifically Krishna consciousness or ISKCON, that giving free food and everything. So if we see, that is the reason, and I would have done the same thing, frankly speaking. another aspect also was there, because I had a Muslim friend. From that person I came to know they desperately wanted to convert someone or the other,
Yeah.
because that is, if they convert someone to Muslim religion, he said that in their religion, it's in the scripture, it is written they will go to Jannah. So that is also there in Christianity. That is the reason they try to convert. Prabhupada used to say, I'm not trying to convert you, I'm just
Right.
trying to help you. But
Yeah.
their motive was to convert so they can make that as a ladder for them to go to heaven and
Yeah.
enjoy life.
Yeah.
These are the 2 points I wanted to share.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Yeah. So in that video, I can share it with you. I will send it in the group. But in that video, they show that they have, like, like when you do marketing, you have a quota that you're supposed to hit, right? Like that. So they send out all these people and they get reports from every week, they get reports how many are converted. And they're not satisfied with small numbers, they want bigger numbers. So there's pressure on these people who go, the evangelists, right? They go out and they convert people. There's pressure on them also to go and convert more and more people somehow or other. So what I'm trying to say is they're seriously working. So if we also seriously put our energy in the direction of defending, right, by way of educating people of what is reality, what is said in Bhagavad Gita, who we are, then at least we will, will present some resistance. Otherwise, if we are simply comfortably sitting here, and living our lives, then they're just going to take over like that. So yeah, thank you for that input. India, you can read the purport.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji?
Yes, Inba, go ahead.
I'll read, Mataji.
Yeah.
The conditioned soul, being wrapped in ignorance and therefore not knowing the goal of life, accepts a guru who can juggle words and make some display of magic that is wonderful to a fool. Sometimes a foolish person accepts someone as a guru because he can manufacture a small quantity of gold by mystic yogic power. Because such a disciple has a poor fund of knowledge, he cannot judge whether the manufacture of gold is the criterion for a guru. Why should one not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, from whom unlimited numbers of gold mines come into being? Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. All the gold mines are created by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, why should one accept a magician who can manufacture only a small portion of gold? Such gurus are accepted by those who are blind, not knowing the goal of life. Maharaj Satyavrata, however, knew the goal of life. He knew the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he accepted the Lord as his guru. Either the Supreme Lord or his representative can become guru. The Lord says, Mamevaya prapadyante maya metam tarantite. One can get relief from the clutches of Maya as soon as he surrenders unto me. Therefore, it is the Guru's business to instruct his disciple to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he wants relief from the material clutches. This is the symptom of the Guru. The same principle was instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yare deka tare kaha Krishna upadesha. In other words, one is advised not to accept a guru who does not follow the path of instruction given by Lord Krishna.
Yes, that is it. Don't accept a guru who does not follow the path of instruction given by Lord Krishna. So the question of why somebody is accepting, what is the criterion for selecting a guru, right? Why they are converting? What is the criterion for selecting a guru? Foolish people, that's all. They're foolish. They don't know what is the on what basis should we accept a particular religion or a particular guru. When you accept religion means what? You're accepting a guru basically, and whatever he tells you do. He says this is God and you follow that as God, like that. So simply if he's able to give you some food or some gold, that's not the criterion for a guru. Then why people accept that as guru? Because they're less intelligent. That's all. That's the answer. They're less intelligent. They're ignorant. That's the only answer. So then it becomes the duty of the leader. Now it's the whole system. If we have a system of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Kshatriya is not just a Brahmana's role is different, Kshatriya's role is different. Kshatriya is very powerful. Under his rule, such nonsense cannot go on. The Kshatriya should be a Rajarshi. He's a devotee himself. And then he won't allow such nonsense to go on in his kingdom. Even if people are ignorant, he will guide them properly in the right direction. But now we don't have such Kshatriyas. All the foolish people, ignorant people, they rule the government themselves, right? This is the government by the people, of the people, for the people. But what is the quality of the people? What is the quality of the people? They don't know what is Shastra. They don't know what is the goal of life. All they know is eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Whoever facilitates this more, my eating, sleeping, mating, defending, whoever gives more, I'll vote for that person. And that person becomes the leader. What is he going to do? He will also do the same thing. So the whole system is actually, so we need, first of all, we need Brahmanas, and the Kshatriya also, he is not acting independently. The Kshatriya follows the guidance of the Brahmana, and the Brahmana will only tell what is there in the Shastra. So ultimately it is Shastra which is guiding the society, because that is not happening now. We don't have an authority like that. Therefore all types of nonsense is going on. The thieves and rogues, they come and plunder. So again, the reason why people are not able to choose the right guru, they don't take Krishna as the supreme guru, rather they take somebody else as supreme guru, because they are foolish, they are ignorant, they don't know what is real and what is false. So somebody is producing some gold by magic and we say, oh, he is God. We all know who he is, and there are maybe others also like that. But you are seeing here, there are so many gold mines, so much gold, and Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. And Krishna, it's not that I am saying or some few people are saying. Arjun says, all great personalities have accepted you as the supreme personality of Godhead. But still some people don't take Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita, because they have lusty desires. Krishna does not reveal himself to them. What can we do? So of course, for us also it is a lesson that, we can do our part, but we have to depend on Krishna, right? What did Advaita Acharya do? Advaita Acharya is the Supreme Lord himself. But he cried out to the Supreme Lord, unless you come, these people won't change, my Lord. Please, you come. Like that. So we have to sincerely pray to the Supreme Lord, my Lord, please, you give me, like Srila Prabhupada said, right? How will I convince these people? They don't know what is Krishna. Now, how will I convince them? You make me dance like a puppet in your hands. So when someone prays to the Supreme Lord with such a pure intention, with a pure desire, and is willing to become an instrument in Krishna's hands, then Krishna can do wonders. Krishna can do wonders. But we should always remember that what is our capacity? How can we convince anyone or give Krishna consciousness to somebody? We can simply become instruments. We will repeat whatever we have studied, heard from our predecessors. We will repeat the same thing, making sure that it is only from scripture that we are speaking. That much we can do. And we can sincerely pray to the Lord, to help those who are hearing, so that he may, allow them to understand, and allow us to speak properly, and allow them to understand so that we can all take to Krishna consciousness ultimately. That much we can do from our side. Okay. So we will, so Inba read today. Tomorrow Inya will start. It's already 8 o'clock. We will stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here. We will quickly read Bhagavad Gita verse and Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita and end the session here. So I'll send it in the group. Inya will begin tomorrow, only in Bared. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text 58. Please repeat. Machchittah sarva durgani matprasadat tarishyasi atha chetvam ahankaran nashroshyasi vinangshasi. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So Krishna has given his instructions. You act like this. What did Krishna say? That you become my devotee, you offer all your activities to me, and you stay in my protection, then you will come to me without fail. So if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. Again, same thing what Satyavrat Maharaj is saying. You are inexhaustible. Your benedictions are far, far superior than all the benedictions of all the others put together. And Krishna is also saying, you become conscious of me. I will take you across, right? I will help you pass over all the obstacles of conditional life. But if you say, no, I will not listen to what you are saying, I will do what my friend is saying, or I will do whatever I feel like doing, then you will be lost. There is no protection there. Purport. A person in full Krishna consciousness is not unduly anxious about executing the duties of his existence. A person in full Krishna consciousness is not unduly anxious about executing the duties of his existence. The foolish cannot understand this great freedom from all anxiety. Yes, you also go through, devotees also go through the difficulties, but they don't become anxious. What will happen? What will happen? Because you have that confidence. Krishna is the controller. He is my protector. Whatever may happen, it's like when you drive on the road, right? You know the path. And sometimes you go up on a hill, right? But when you go up, if you are a new driver, then you'll get nervous because you don't know what's happening on the other side of the road, if there's road or not, because you're only seeing up to the top. When you go there, you don't know, so you slow down. But somebody who's been driving that path for a while, he knows, even though I don't see there's a road on the other side, there is a road on the other side. He'll just keep driving regularly. So that is a devotee. Even though he doesn't see, even though there may be difficulties, he has confidence. Krishna has made arrangement. I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry. And as far as death is inevitable. A devotee knows this. And for a devotee, death is not the end of everything. Death means connecting, going back to Krishna. So he's not afraid of death either. So this confidence, who will get? Someone who's Krishna conscious, he'll get this confidence. And this type of confidence, a foolish person who's not Krishna conscious cannot get. He will always be in anxiety. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. The foolish cannot understand this great freedom from all anxiety. For one who acts in Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna becomes the most intimate friend. He always looks after his friend's comfort, and he gives himself to his friend, who is so devotedly engaged, working 24 hours a day to please the Lord. This devotee doesn't even think, will the Lord protect me? I hope he gives me this, or no, he doesn't care for himself. The Lord is always concerned about him, but the devotee doesn't worry. Like that little baby, a little baby carried by the mother on the shoulder. The baby is just, when the baby sleeps, it just like, you have experience with little babies sleeping. When they actually fall asleep, all of a sudden they become heavy. When they're awake, they're not so heavy, but when they fall asleep, they just become heavy because they just drop, like they become completely carefree. They're just there. And it's the mother is the one who's worrying. Oh, the baby, I hope the baby's sleeping well. The neck is not bent here or there. The baby is comfortable. The baby doesn't have to worry. A devotee's position is like that, like a baby, right? He just puts himself in Krishna's care. And what is he doing putting himself in Krishna's care? Sleeping? No. Putting himself in Krishna's care means 24/7 is working for Krishna, to please Krishna. And he doesn't care about his personal maintenance, his protection. He doesn't have to worry. He's just simply working for Krishna 24/7. And Krishna is worrying about this devotee. Worrying means he's protecting, he's looking after, he's safe. Also, you can think of Arjun. Krishna is the chariot driver. Arjun is busy fighting. But Krishna is the one who's looking around, seeing, protecting Arjun. Yes? When that arrow was to hit, Karna released that, Krishna immediately made the chariot sink into the ground a little bit. So that arrow, which would have otherwise hit Arjun and killed him, it just hit his crown. Like that, so many times. So like that, Krishna is always looking out for the devotee, protecting the devotee. But the devotee doesn't worry about himself. He's continuously 24 hours engaged in the service of the Lord. And he doesn't need to worry also. That's the point. That's what Krishna is saying. You don't have to worry. Because Krishna is his friend, and Krishna gives himself to his friend who is so devotedly engaged, working 24 hours a day to please the Lord. Therefore, no one should be carried away by the false ego of the bodily concept of life. False ego of the bodily concept of life. I am this body, then immediately, if I am this body, then these other bodies, I have responsibility of these other bodies, and then I have this job, I have this designation, and I have these duties, and all these other things, right? This is profit, this is loss, everything comes. So one should not be carried away. You do your duty, but don't get carried away by the bodily concept of life. One should not falsely think himself independent of the laws of material nature or free to act. What is the whole point here? Krishna is saying you act as I have told you. But if you think, no, I don't have to care, I'll act independently, whimsically, right? You should not falsely think yourself independent of the laws of material nature. He is already under strict material laws, but as soon as he acts in Krishna consciousness, he is liberated, because the material nature is the maidservant of Krishna. Now we are under the clutches of the material laws, but when we take shelter of Krishna, she is a maidservant of Krishna. She has no control on you anymore. He is the boss. And if you become his servant, she steps back. As soon as he acts in Krishna consciousness, he is liberated, free from the material perplexities. One should note very carefully that one who is not active in Krishna consciousness, you have to be active in Krishna consciousness, always. Not that once upon a time I surrendered to Krishna, I said to Krishna, I'm yours, and then now I'm a devotee, and now I'm not actively engaged in Krishna. No. One should note very carefully that one who is not active in Krishna consciousness is losing himself in the material whirlpool. Yes. If you're not active, you're losing yourself in the material whirlpool. So we have to check every moment actually. But at least whenever you remember, immediately get back. Because we are surrounded by the material nature and we are conditioned for such a long time. So therefore, for us in the conditioned state, it is only natural to get drifted away towards material energy, towards sense enjoyment, towards controlling, towards false ego. It's only natural for us. But we have to bring it back again and again. One should note very carefully that one who is not active in Krishna consciousness is losing himself in the material whirlpool, in the ocean of birth and death. No conditioned soul actually knows what is to be done and what is not to be done. But a person who acts in Krishna consciousness is free to act because everything is prompted by Krishna from within and confirmed by the spiritual master. So anyone who acts in Krishna consciousness, he is actually free. Not that, because externally it appears that you're following somebody's order, how you are free, you may think. But actually, someone who is following Krishna's instructions, he is free to act. He is free to act because he knows what is to be done, what is not to be done. He is carefree, he is anxiety free. And the so called free person who does not accept the authority of the Supreme Lord, even though he is declaring himself to be free, he is always in anxiety. So, who is free? You decide. Okay. Just one paragraph I will read of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. I know we are running out of time. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, continuation. Srila Prabhupada is now, he took over, what do you say, someone else, there was a middle person who was, handling the printing. So he was not taking it seriously. So Srila Prabhupada is directly now dealing it with himself, with OK Press. In his preface to the second volume, Bhaktivedanta Swami expressed the apparent oddity of working in Delhi while living in Vrindavan. Because in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada is translating the second volume of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. But for printing and publishing, he would go to Delhi. So in the Bhagavatam itself, in the preface, Srila Prabhupada writes, the path of fruitive activities, that is to say, the path of earn money and enjoy, as it is going on generally, appears to have become also our profession, although we have renounced the order of worldly life. They see that we are moving in the cities, in the government offices, banks, and other business places for promoting the publication of Srimad Bhagavatam. They also see that we are moving in the press, paper market, and amongst the book binders also, away from our residence at Vrindavan. And thus they conclude sometimes mistakenly that we are also doing the same business in the dress of a mendicant. But actually, there is a gulf of difference between the two kinds of activities. This is not a business for maintaining an establishment of material enjoyment. On the contrary, it is a humble attempt to broadcast the glories of the Lord at a time when the people need it very badly. So with that, I will stop. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all for joining. So
Thank you, Mataji.
next Bhagavatam class will be Monday morning. Hare Krishna.